I think with age and now at this point of my career, it's like the podiums of this year. It seems that when I rewatch the race on TV, I seem the happiest in the podium, and I was third and 2 times second.
Can I talk about your mindset of exploration? Because you talked about, leaving Formula One to explore other areas. I think also it allowed you probably to see Formula One through a completely different lens that you'd seen it through for the previous 20 odd years. So when you stepped away from Formula One and suddenly overnight you're no longer Fernando Alonso Formula One driver, you're former Formula One driver, and you no doubt watched the sport, what did you learn that you simply couldn't see when you were in it?
I saw a lot of things. First was the love that the people had towards my career and my job. Because when I stopped in 2018, I was tired of traveling and all the things around Formula One, and as I said, not being able to compete for high things. But I don't know. I didn't have any perception or anything that maybe people thought about the sport or myself in general. But when I stopped, the only thing that I receive every time that I was meeting people or any fan or people at the airport or in the hotels or whatever, it was, you need to come back. You need to come back. These kind of things. So the people, it was a surprise that they loved what we were doing. Because for me, the last few years before I stopped, it was like, we are nearly anonymous here. This is not, no one is seeing us, and the sport was not maybe great as it is now with all this Drive to Survive and Netflix and all these things. So I thought that it was much less interest, but I was surprised of how much love I received from people. And then, I saw Formula One, which is in motorsport very different than other categories, much more selfish, much more glamorous in a way, but fake in another way. I think it was more pure motorsport, Le Mans or Indy or Dakar for sure. But Formula One had this appeal. The people want to attempt to the races, wanted to watch on TV. I was watching also on TV the Formula One races. I appreciate a little bit more all the stuff that as a driver I didn't like before. So the national anthem, the parade lap, having a little bit more access to the media and the cameras, which when you are a driver, you hate those moments. But when I was just in my living room, I was missing those moments. And if one or two drivers were a little bit more smiley or a little bit more accessible, I think it was appreciated from home. So when I came back to the sport, I think I took a step more relaxed into those things, and I was a little bit more I took care a little bit more. I'm taking care a little bit more of fans and TV and these kind of things, because I understand the importance of it. And that was able only because I was 2 years out of Formula One.
And what about for you personally then? Because we speak to loads of former sports people who say, I didn't take one moment to enjoy my career because I was too focused on winning.
Same. Same. I regret that. I regret that. When I won the 2 championships back in Renault, my Ferrari time, I mean, it was good, but you are so focused on the next race, on the next weekend. You finish one race, you may win the race, and you go to the airport, and when you are in the plane, you are thinking about next weekend, so you land at home and you text your engineer, we need to test softer at the rear because, the traction was very bad in this race, at the end of the race, these kind of things. And I think with age and now at this point of my career, it's like the podiums of this year. It seems that when I rewatch the race on TV, I seem the happiest in the podium, and I was third and 2 times second. But it's because I'm able to enjoy more those kind of moments, and celebrating every weekend is part of my thing now.
Did you think before you had that time out and before you had this new approach that you could either enjoy it or be successful? not both, and now maybe you realize that actually you can?
Yeah, yeah, I had that feeling, and that if I was enjoying too much, it was like I was not professional, or I was not um, wanting that success. But yeah, you realize with time and with maturity that you can do both things, and you can work hard, you can be very professional, but at the same time you have to give back something to the people that works for you and the people that are supporting you. You know, if it's your team or your marketing guys or your media or just the fans on the grandstands, you know, they are there for you, and you need to give something back.
So can I ask you then around being in the cockpit? Because speaking to some of your colleagues here, they say that you have this remarkable ability to be able to spot details in the race, not just related to your car, but what rivals are doing or what else is going on there. And I'm interested in understanding, how do you develop that ability to see details? Do you see patterns, or are you looking for certain tells?
I think it links a little bit with the preparation and the way that I approach things and races. You know, the level of detail that I need to be calm before the race, asking 5 times about the strategy and possible scenarios. What if I lose one place at the start? How this will transform our strategy? What if I gain one place at the start? We will stop one lap before, one lap later. Which tires will be good to have on the car in that scenario, in the other scenario? So because I have that quantity of information before the race, when I see that one car, had a bad stop, I immediately go back to what we saw in the morning, and that car having that bad stop and losing a little bit of time will maybe give us the opportunity to maybe do extra 3 laps with this tire because we are not under pressure or there are no threats from behind or whatever. So maybe I comment that on the radio, and they are surprised, like how Fernando can, after a bad Ferrari pit stop, think that we can extend 3 laps our next stop. It's not that I realize there and I process all that information. Is that the information was inside already from Sunday morning when we review that strategy possibilities, and because it's a communication between the team and me, we know that we are talking in the same page. So it's not that they didn't know that and they are surprised and my suggestion is going forward. Actually, it was their suggestion and it was their strategy and it was their information. I'm just remembering what we saw a few hours ago.
And have you, at any time in 22 years of doing this job, ever become lazy or complacent and gone into a race without that level of detail?
No. I could be a little bit lazy or not lack of motivation, but a little bit not fully on it. Maybe during the week of the race, maybe the training or the preparation. Sometimes we receive a document on the week before the race about the circuit changes, about all these things. Maybe I didn't read it in detail or something like that because I was not really motivated to that weekend. But always that changes when I start the free practice on Friday. When I start the free practice on Friday and you see yourself 12, you want to be in 10th because you think that that's maybe possible. If you are 7th, okay, the P5 did a mega lap today. He maybe don't repeat that lap tomorrow. We can be top 5. So very easily you get motivated during the weekend, and so by Sunday when I close the visor and the race starts, I've been always 100 ready.